Welcome to the video on Mathematics 8, and today we're going to talk about table and graph. So before we start the lesson, there are some important things you need to know how to do, such as plotting the point on a graph, and also finding the point from the graph is important. After this video, you'll be able to create a graph using the points from a table of values, and create a table using the points from the graph. So let's try the first example question. Plot the values from the table on the graph. So in order to plot the values from the table, I suggest that you first switch a table into an order pair. So it's pretty simple. You see the table, the first column, it says X, and the second column, it says Y. So we're going to switch this into an order pair, such as -2, 5. You notice that a table is simply just a collection of the order pairs. So we can do the same for all the other points. Like this. And now let's start plotting them. I noticed that on this graph, the 2 ticks are represented as 2. So 1 tick is just 1. So starting off with the -2, 5. So that's x coordinate is -2. So that's 2 steps to the left from the 0, and then you go up 5 steps, so that's going to be the first point, -2, 5. And the next one, -1, 3, it means we go 1 step to the left and 3 steps upwards, so that's right there. The third point is 0, 1, so 0 steps left and right, but just 1 step up. And the fourth point is 1, -1, so 1 to the right, 1 below. So that's right there. And finally, 2, -3, 2 to the right and 3 down. So that's the point right there. So there you go. There is the graph from the table. So I'll take the process. First, you switch the table to collection of points of ordered pairs. And you plot. Before we move on, there's an important thing that we need to identify. You look at the graph and you look at the points here. Do you notice a pattern? Well, I think one pattern that I see is that the points can be connected as a line. So if I have more points, they're going to form a line-like shape. And we call that a linear relation. We'll talk more about the linear relation in the next few lessons. Let's try the next question. Make a table using the points shown on the graph. So in this case, we're not plotting the points from the table. We're making the points, we're finding the coordinates of each point, and then we're turning it into a table. So let's first find the coordinate of each point here. So starting off with the point right here. Well, it seems like we moved left 100 points, so that's -100. And the y, the vertical movement is 0. We're on the axis, so that's -100, 0. And if you look at this point, and we also have to notice that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ticks represents 100. So I think we can say 1 tick represents 20. So for this point, we go 2 steps to the left and 2 steps down. So if 1 step is 20, 2 steps is 40. So I think we can say that this coordinate has 2 steps to the left, so that's -40, and 2 steps down, so another -40. And this point right here, that's 1 step to the left and 4 steps up. So 1 step to the left, that's -20, and 4 steps up, so 4 times 20, 4 times 20, 80 is the y coordinate. This point here has 0 horizontal movement, but we go 1 step up, so that's 0, 20. And finally, the last point here, we have moved 1, 2, 3, 4 steps to the right, so that's 80. And we go 5 steps down, so that's negative 100. So now let's turn that into a table. So we can use x and y into a table. Remember that for a table, we always want to keep the x value first on the left column and the y value on the right column. Starting off with the negative 100, 0, and then we had negative 40, and then negative 40, and negative 20, and then 80, and then 0, and then 20, and finally 80, and then negative 100. If you can, I suggest that you align the table so that we go in incremental steps for the x coordinates, not for the y coordinates. Another thing that we notice from this graph is that the points here cannot be connected into a line. So we call this a non-linear relation. Let's annotate the process here. We first find the tick value. So in this case, we realize that each tick is 20, so 2 ticks are 40, and so on. And find the coordinate of each point. After you find the coordinate of each point, we turn it into a table. Make a table. And when we do that, we just make sure put x on the first column and y on the second. So essentially, making a table is just one step away from finding the coordinates of a point. We find the coordinates of the point, and we just simply put in a table. Let's recap some vocabulary that we learned in today's lesson. First, the table of values. As I said, the table of values is simply just collection of points. And we put usually the x coordinates on the left column and the y coordinate on the second column, on the right column. Plotting is the action of putting the point from the data, from the table of values onto the graph. And we also call that an order pair a data point, especially when you're collecting the data of real-life situations. Thank you for tuning in this video, and I'll see you in the next one.